Hello everyone, welcome to Gaja Shares. After the launch of the channel, I was thinking, what should I be giving to my viewers? And after giving it a lot of thought, I decided I will take you along with me to all the places that I visit in Sydney and in Australia. And as a start to this, I am launching my series called Scintillating Sydney because I am put up in Sydney. But before starting with the series, I thought I should give you a brief history of this great nation, Australia. Australia was originally inhabited by people called the Aboriginals even 30,000 to 40,000 years ago. These people were hunter-gatherers and they came in contact with the Western world in 1606 when a Dutch navigator found Australia. He named Australia New Holland. It was later in 1770 that Captain James Cook in his ship called the Endeavour landed at Sydney at a place called Botany Bay. He spent a few months understanding the land, exploring the land and the possibilities that this land has to offer. He took back a report to Great Britain which was very crucial in deciding a colonial establishment in the later years. In 1788, a fleet landed at Sydney and colonization started then. Ever since the colonization, there has been great changes to this great land, this great nation. Ever since the colonization, people from all over the world have come to Australia to call it home. And Australia is today what it is because of the people of this great land. Australia is a great example of unity in diversity, and I am glad to be a part of this great nation, which I'm going to call my second home after India. Welcome to Gaja Shares, and this is the launch of Scintillating Sydney. Thank you. So I am at the Pyrmont Bay, which is really close to my place, and this is a pathway that we usually walk across. Here you see the welcome wall. So this welcome wall has names of people who have come to Australia to call it home. There are close to 30,000 people's names. So we are heading to Darling Harbour, which will be my first show point for all my viewers. This typically is a ferry station, so the ferries come, get docked here and they pick up people, they drop off people. So we will do a ferry roundabout sometime later, but now we are heading to the Darling Harbour. As I am walking to the Darling Harbour, I am crossing the Australian Museum, National Museum, Maritime Museum, and the ship that you see here is actually the replica of Endeavour, the ship that Captain James Cook landed in 1770. So this is built to preserve the heritage and the history that this country has, and it is docked at the Australian Maritime Museum. So we'll do a roundabout of Australian Maritime Museum too sometime, but now we will head to Darling Harbour. it's about a 2-minute walk from the place that we started. So we have reached the Darling Harbour, and so that's the way to a suburb called Pyrmont, and we are entering the Darling Harbour. That's the Harbourside shopping mall. It's a very nice mall with some great places to visit and some good restaurants. So the food here in Darling Harbour is great. There are a lot of restaurants that serve seafood platters, which is very tasty and most sought after. That is the view of the Central Business District from Darling Harbour. And
Darling Harbour Bridge.
This is the Darling Harbour Bridge. Darling Harbour itself has a history of its own. So it was originally called the Cockle Bay. So Darling Harbour has been a frontier for close to 7,000 years. Originally this place was called Cockle Bay, and before that, in the time of Aboriginals, it was called Tumbalong, meaning a place where abundance of seafood is available. And after the colonization, this place has undergone a lot of change. So it became an established place where industries, shipyards, ships and a lot of factories were set up. It served a lot of purpose during the 1900s. Late in the 1900s, around 1980s, this place was fully revamped, and it was given as a gift by the then Premier to the people of Sydney. And Darling Harbour you see today is a result of that revamp. And you see a lot of restaurants here. These restaurants serve amazing seafood, and great place to spend the evening. A lot of people come in here with children to spend time here. By the way, it is around 7:40 p.m. in Sydney, and the sun has still not gone down. So across the Darling Harbour, you can see the Sydney Eye Tower, the one there on top. Yeah, that one. Yes, and I love the seagulls in Sydney because, especially in Darling Harbour, they're very stubborn creatures and they take away food from you when they have the chance. So people visiting Darling Harbour, please be careful of them. You will see a lot of kids around this area because kids love this giant wheel, and you get a good view of the city from the giant wheel. I have not explored this yet. So we spend a lot of time walking by this area because we stay really close by. Usually this place is very crowded, but because of COVID restrictions and the lockdown, it is not as crowded as it would be earlier. I've been to the same place last year, same time. It was a lot different, and today it's a lot different. So I have explored some of the restaurants here. Some of them are very good. So the view is exotic here. It's beautiful, the giant wheel, and then the thin tall building that you see here is the Crown. It's a new attraction at Sydney. It has a lot of restaurants, a lot of apartments and hotels in the Crown, and if you actually visit that place, you will find a lot of people clicking a lot of photographs, and they're all excited about the Crown. So yes, across the Darling Harbour, what you see is the Central Business District. So important offices are all located in this area, and it's very close to Darling Harbour. So Darling Harbour is very easily accessible by road, by train, and also by ferries. So one can get dropped off either at Pyrmont Bay, the bay that we crossed, or also at Barangaroo, where the ferries will drop you off. It also has a light rail connection. So if you take the light rail, you'll have to get down at International Convention Centre. There's a convention centre station. You get off there and then walk across this path here. It straight away leads to Darling Harbour, and the building right here is the International Convention Centre Sydney, which hosts a lot of international events, notably the Olympics in 2000. So during summer, every year Darling Harbour has a lot of events lined up, and I would like to show you one such event that has been going on here for a while. It's called the Moving Boat Floating Cinema Experience, and here you can see that people can sit on boats, and they have made arrangements for them to sit in the water, either in the boat or in the beds that they have given, and watch a movie across on the screen. So this is a very great attraction this summer, and it's been going on for almost a month now. So it's a lot of fun. I haven't explored this yet. I think this will go on till the month of February, and we plan to sometime go and watch a movie. I think they are screening Wonder Woman 84 sometime. I hope we get some time off to visit. So a closer look of the moving boat cinema experience. So what I love about this is they've set up something like this, and they make sure that everything is available on that small moving piece that they've put up there. So you have restrooms, you have food coming in. So all of that is made available at any recreation place here in Sydney, which really amuses me. So we are walking to the other part of Darling Harbour. Here you will probably see some marinas, some wharfs, where you'll find docked cruises which can be rented for your private parties, or there are also some dinner boat cruises. Let's go and check out. We're now in the other side of Darling Harbour, so that is where we were. That's where we started. We came all this way. I thought from this side the view is really good. So that is the International Convention Centre we crossed, and then you have a lot of hotels, the giant wheel attraction that we crossed, and that's the Darling Harbour Bridge. So we are now walking towards the other side of Darling Harbour, the Cockle Bay Wharf. We will also reach Barangaroo if we have the time today. So you can, so this is the Darling Harbour Marina. So a lot of boats are berthed here, private boats, and people generally take these private boats for parties, for events, for celebrations. So it's really cool here. Since it's a weekend, I'm seeing only a few boats. Usually it's quite crowded, this area, so you see a lot of berth stations free. And we are at Cockle Bay now. Lot of lights. So this is the Cockle Bay Wharf. You can see the name engraved there on top. And you have a bit of attraction here for the kids. I mean, it's an attraction for me itself. I love watching this colors in the fountain, and I also enjoy seeing these statues here. So back right behind there, you see the Lindt Cafe. So that's one of my favorite cafes here, apart from Gillian. So one day I saw people spending time to clean these statues. So regularly they come and clean these statues, and then so everything is quite perfect here, and everything is planned. So I think it's lovely. Okay, so we'll continue. Forgive my camera angles, just a beginner will learn during the course of time. There's some live music going on here in one of the restaurants, I guess. Looks like it's a wedding party. Heading to the other side of Darling Harbour. I mean, we're already on the other side. We are crossing the Sydney Sea Life Museum. It's another major attraction here. So we have the Sea Life Sydney Aquarium, Madame Tussauds, and the Sydney Wildlife, all here. Kids would really enjoy this place. I checked out the tickets recently for this, and they have great packages on offer, which you can book and visit either 2 of the 3 or 4 places that are on offer, or all the 3 places. I think the ticket costs around $67 for all the 3, the Wildlife, the Sea Life, and Madame Tussauds. You can check them out. And we are actually going to the King Street Wharf. The King Street Wharf is where you will be boarding all these dinner cruises, the private party cruises, all of these. Usually on Fridays and Saturdays, you have a lot of cruises that offer candlelight dinner, with a variety of options. I've always had a great time watching people board these cruises for their parties. Super excited people. So this is a map of the places that we just crossed. So you can see that we started in Australian Maritime Museum. We crossed the Harborside Shopping Mall, the ICC, Convention Center, Exhibition Center, and then we did not go to Tumbalong Park and all of that. So we cut across here and we came here. We are crossing Madame Tussauds towards the King Street Wharf. A party boat here, so we'll get on this track. I love to walk around, along this path. It's always quite free, and you don't have to encounter a lot of people while doing this walk. Okay, let's catch a glimpse of the Maritime Museum from across here. So that was the place we started off from, and we're now heading towards Barangaroo. So this is also actually a very happening place. So here you see these cruises, right? So these are all the dinner cruises. In fact, we use this cruise to actually celebrate our anniversary dinner. We have a lot of them, a host of them, and they're quite reasonable. The price is quite reasonable. So here they have opened up a few new restaurants. Usually it's a very happening place, but since this is a Sunday evening, it's less crowded. If it were Friday or Saturday, then it would have been super crowded. People generally take rest on Sundays to gear up for their office on Mondays. So yeah. We are heading to the Crown. Somehow love the look of this restaurant. However, it's a little loud music there.
Hi, come.
Hello, hey, hi. I think I would have reached at least 3/4 of my daily goal, the steps. Should have been around 7,000 steps, I guess. This is the Baranguru Wharves, the ferries that will take you across different places in Sydney. So usually you have to walk through those turnstiles with your Opal card or your ATM card, which you can swipe, and you pass through those turnstiles, and then you can just board the ferries. This is a nice, quiet dining place that I like. So when I was here last summer, it was only, we had access only until here, but with the opening of the Crown and with the launch of Crown, we have a new space that we can see. It's a fantastic place. So I like to come and sit here and meditate. And these are actually great places to have your run. I see a lot of people running on these tracks. The view is fantastic. The weather is also great. It's not very dark. It's not sunny as well. By the way, the time here is around 8:10 p.m. in the evening, and the sun has still not gone down. So this is the place that's newly been opened up, and a slow view of the Crown, the new jewel adorning Sydney now. So these buildings are all housed in Central Business District. So one has to just cross this place. Right across, you have a road that leads to the Central Business District, and most offices are put up here. This is the pathway that we crossed. So we walked all this way from the Darling Harbour. We came across, and then we crossed Maritime Museum, and then we are here at Baranguru seeing the Crown. So I've reached the end of Baranguru. I've reached my place, so I'm going to sit back and relax until we meet next. Thank you for watching my first YouTube video. Stay tuned to Gaja Shares for more such videos. Thank you. Have a great day. Love to all of you. Bye-bye.